Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining the session. So, today's session will be on leave management. So, people are yet to be joining. So, we'll start the session sharp at 4 5 p.m. Okay. So, right. Thank you. So, I request you to wait till 4 5 to start the session. Thank you. Good evening once again. Before starting the session, let me know if I'm audible and clear. Can you can just comment with ENS. Yeah, thank you. Right. So good evening, everyone. So I hope everyone is doing great. I'm back today as it's Thursday. So for all the people who don't know me, so this is Javed and I'm working as a senior product specialist at Keka. So today I will be making you walk through the process and best practices of setting up the leave policy. Okay, so we also have Miss Aarti today in the background, so who would be helping you on all your queries over the chat. Okay, so today we will be covering some of the key features such as leave accrual based upon the experience, restricting employee to apply leave who is under probation period, and prior and past dated leave restrictions, sandwich policy for holidays and week offs, and restricting number of consecutive days that can be taken per in a week, in a day, sorry, number of consecutive days that can be taken in a week or a month. So leave carry forward during the year end processing. And we also have like who can how many how can employee can view his leave balance, how can employee request for a leave, and what are the different reports we have. So we will be covering all the these different topics in today's call. Okay, so right, so before getting into the session, let me brief about what is a leave. Okay, so leave is a platform to manage your employee leave management, so where employees will be applying for time of requests such as vacations, holidays, sick leave, and parental leaves, and many more. Okay, so let me just quickly share my screen so that you can get a glance of all the features what we have. So I'll just switch off my cam and I'll screen. Yeah. Right. Can you just confirm if you're able to view my screen so that we can proceed further? Cool. Cool. Thank you. Right. So for managing the leave activity, we need to navigate to time at end under leave. Okay. So I repeat, to manage the leave management, we need to navigate to time at end and leave plans. So here we would be having again two categories. One is leave plan and the other one is leave types. Okay, so leave type is something like which system would automatically define some leave types as per the policies. Okay, so apart from that, if you want to create any different leave type, so you can click on add leave type and you can just name that leave type. I say occasional leave, anything such. We'll name it as OL. So show leave description while applying. This is a paid leave or a sick leave or a special leave. So whether in case if you want to restrict to a particular gender, so like only male can apply or female can apply, so you can also restrict such. Okay, so in case if you are managing it as an marriage leave, okay, so you can also select it as marital status, unmarried or married, so that only married people would be able to apply. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Okay, is it clear now? Yes, Debjani. So whatever the status has been provided by the employee in his profile, whether unmarried or married, so it would work in that way. Team, can you just confirm if you are able to view my screen now? Because a lot were mentioning that it was not clear. Yeah, thank you. Right, so I'll just repeat the process again. Okay, so in case if you want to manage this leave management, you need to navigate to time at end and leave plan. Okay, so here you would be having two different options: creation of a leave plan and creation of a leave type. Okay, so in under leave type, you would be able to view all the different leave types what you have. Okay, so in case if you want to add a system defined, apart from the system defined, if you want to create your own leave type, so you can click on marriage leave. So I just gave some marriage leave. So here you need to define all the settings. So if it is a sick leave or a special leave, or restricted to genders, or in case if it is restricted to employee having marital status or single, or sorry, married or unmarried, or you can also define list of reasons as well. So in so system, unless and until employee select these following reasons, he would not be able to apply for this particular leave type. Okay, so this is how you can create a leave type. Okay, so in case if you want to manage the existing leave types, you just need to click on under actions, edit, and you will be able to view them. So in case if you want to edit any of them, right? So we'll be moving to the next tab, which is leave plans. So once we are done with the leave types, settings and all, we'll move on to the next tab, which is leave plans. We'll click on add leave plan. So I'll say standard 2021 leave plan. So I've named it. Okay. So I say I'll provide some description on it. SLP. Okay. So again, this is a very important point to be noted over here. So right, so many of the organizations would be having two different things. Okay, so some would be following the leave calendar starting from Jan to December, and some would be starting it from April to March. Okay, right. So for different trends, there would be a different leave policy. So you can select accordingly, but it's very mandatory to check twice before you make any changes. So as per my policy, I would select Jan 2021. So my year ending would be done at the end of the December. Okay. So it's very important to select as per your policy. In case if you have given it as April and your policy starts from Jan, then system doesn't work as per your need because you have not given the right calendar start year. Okay. So right. So moving on the next options, which is show leave policy explanation generated by KEKA. So whether you want to show the leave policy explanation for every leave type to the employee or not, so you can enable or disable the setting depending upon your requirement. So what happens if you enables it is this. So employee would be able to give all the different leave types explanation, like how is his accrual is being made, when does the leave year end happen, what is the minimum time span required to apply leave. Okay, so this is all the things that can be viewed by the employee this if you enable this option. Okay, so right. So whether if you have any upload custom leave policy document, you can also do that. So in case if you have any your company own designed custom leave policy, you can also upload that. Okay, so many of them many of you you may have a question like what is the difference between leave plan and a leave type. Okay, so leave plan is something a set of different leave types in it. Okay, so it can be a sick leave, planned leave, or paternity leave, maternity leave. So all would be all leaves combined leave would be calling it as a leave plan. Okay, so every single individual leave type is called as a leave type. Okay, right. So I'll just go to my standard 2021 leave plan. Okay, so now the system shows me like no leave types are assigned to this leave plan. Okay, so now how to add a leave type to this particular leave plan? Okay, so here we have three dots, so we need to click on assign leave type. So here I would be selecting what are the different leave types would be applicable for this particular leave plan. So I need to select any of them, so I'll just say casual leave, floater, and so I'll say marriage leave. So select three different leave types. and I will select on save. Okay, so what happened is all the 3 leave types have been added to my particular leave plan. So I need to manage some set of rules for that. So unless I complete the setup process, employees would not be able to view the leave balance in their profile. Okay, so it's very mandatory to complete all the setup process to view the leave balance of the individual. Okay, so are we clear so far? Can we proceed? Okay, thank you. Right. So first of all, I'll just take the casual leave type. So how do we do the setup process? So under actions, we have the option of setup. I just clicked on setup. So here the system would be generating 7 different steps which need to be configured. So first step would be a leave quota, like how much leave quota would be allotted to an employee at the beginning of the year. Okay, so for that particular leave quota, in the second step you would be configuring how is the leave accrual will happen. Okay, how does the leave accrual happen for the annual quota which you have provided. Okay, so in the third step, so how can an employee apply for a leave for that quota which has been generated. Okay, so in the fourth step, leave restrictions. Okay, so in the fourth step we can configure like how can an apply for a leave and what are the restrictions you have before you apply a leave. In the fifth step, you would be having holidays and week offs. So whether do you have a sandwich policy for holidays and week offs adjoining the working days. Okay, so you can configure that settings. And the sixth step, so whenever any request is made, what is the approval chain for that? So how does the leave will get approval for any leave request that has been made? Okay, so in the last step, we have year-end processing. So at the end of the year, what will happen to the leave balance? Okay, so I repeat. So in the first step, you will be configuring the leave quota, like for the complete year, what would be the leave quota? And in the second step, how is the accrual happen for the leave quota which has been allotted? And in the third step, what is the process for applying leave and what are the different settings we have? In the fourth step, what is the restrictions before you apply any leave for the past dated or future dated? In the next step, whether you have a sandwich policy for all your holidays and week offs adjoining the working days. So in the next step, leave approval, like how does your leave approval work? If you have 1 level of approval chain or 2 level or 5 level, so you can create multiple levels. So in the last step, what happens to the leave balance at the end of the year? Okay, right. So we'll move on to the first step, which is leave quota. Okay, so what is the annual quota of casual days for an employee? Okay, so it depends upon the company to company, like what is the annual quota in their company. So I would say in my company, I have 12 annual quota for this leave type of casual. I don't have unlimited leaves. I have only limited of 12 leaves per year that an employee can allocate. Okay, so right. So the next option, which is can an employee apply for leave beyond the annual quota? Right. So the question would be referring to the quota which we have allotted, right? So whether then an employee can exceed the annual quota, yes or no. Okay. So if you don't want to allow employee to apply beyond the annual quota, so you need to select as no. So in case if you want to allow employee to applying beyond the annual quota and you want to also restrict that after applying the annual quota, you can also do that. Let's assume the second option, which is an employee can apply for leave beyond the annual quota, which is 12, but not exceeding 20 days in a year. So that means employee can use 20 days in a year of this particular leave type of casual leave. Okay. So as of now, I will select the first option, which is no employee cannot exceed the annual quota. So moving on the next option, which is no leave quota is allocated in the joining month if the employee joins after. Okay, so right. So many of the organizations I've seen, they would be selecting right 15th of the month or 26th of the month. Okay, so what happens in such cases is, let's assume if the employee joins in mid of the month, so what should be the leave balance that should be allocated to the employee? Okay, so if the employee joins on 29th or 28th, whether you want to allocate the leave balance of that particular month, yes or no. So that's the point over here. Okay, so in this case, if this option is not selected, the entire quota for the month will be allocated to the employee irrespective of the joining date. Okay, so in case if you are given any date of 26th or such, if he joins after 26, he would not be getting the quota for that particular month. Okay, so right, so I'll just select it as 26th. Right, so moving on the next option, which is, can reporting manager award casual leave credits to his reportees? Okay, so in some cases employee would be working on an off day or more than the his shift hours. Okay, in such cases reporting manager would be awarding some comp off to that employee. Okay, so in that cases, whether you want to allow reporting manager to allocate this particular leave type of casual leave as an credit. Okay, so whenever he is awarding a comp off, whether it can be any leave type. Okay, so whether you want to allow this leave type to be considered under the comp off, yes or no. Okay, so I suggest you to keep it as no, so that he can award only comp offs as a credit. Okay, so if in case if you have selected it a yes, then reporting manager would be getting an option to award casual leave as well as a credit. Okay, so are we clear so far on the first page, so that we can move on to the next step, which is leave accrual? Yeah, one yes, two yes. So let's move the next page, which is leave accrual. So in the first step, we have configured like what is the leave quota and how does the accrual happen. Okay, so right, so in the first page we have configured what is the leave quota and how it is allocated. In the second page, what will happen to the leave quota which has been allocated, like how does the accrual happen. Okay, so how is the leave balance of an employee calculated? Okay, so there are two different cases. It can be entire leave quota will be allotted at once in one time, like my total leave balance is 12. As soon as the employee joins the organization, total leave balance of 12 will be allocated to my employee in the first case. Okay, so in the second case, leave are accrued at regular intervals. Okay, so in some cases some organizations would be following monthly accrual, quarterly accrual, half yearly accrual, or annually accrual. Okay, so many of them have seen opting for monthly accrual. Okay, so in case if you want to allocate all the leave balance at once, you can select the first option. In case if you want to accrue based upon the monthly accrual, you can select this option. Okay, so it can be monthly, quarterly, or half yearly. Okay, so in case if you want to allocate quarterly, you need to select this quarterly. So beside that, you would be having on which day you want to start the accrual. It can be first of the quarter or 15th day of the quarter or 20th of the quarter. So I suggest you to go with the first. So what happens is that on 1st of Jan, the leave quota would be allocated, again on 1st of April, again on 1st of August, and again on October, on 1st of September again. Sorry, on 1st of October again. Sorry. So this is how the leave quota would be allocated. So in case if you have provided half yearly, then first it will be allocated on 1st of Jan, then again on 1st of July. Okay, so as of now I select monthly basis. So this is how my available leave balance of an employee is calculated. So moving on the next option, which is what happens to the leave quota when an employee joins in the middle of the leave calendar year. Okay, so here you have two options again, which is leave accrual or prorated based upon the joining date. Okay, so the next option is leave are credited based upon the date of month on which employees joined the company. Okay, so let's assume let's proceed with the first step first. So if an employee is joining between a leave calendar, the leave will be prorated and allocated accordingly. Okay, so let's take an example. The annual quota we have provided is 12, and an employee joins on 16th. Okay, the prorata leave allocating will be 6.5, because Jan to May he would not be getting that leave balance of 5, and we also deduct the leave balance from 1st to 15th, because we are prorating based upon the joining date. Okay, so he would be getting only 6.5, right? So that is how the prorate based upon the joining date is calculated. So in case if you select the second option, so leaves are credited in joining month based upon date of joining, date of the month on which employees joined. Okay, so we'll proceed with the first leave credit. Okay, so if the leave the joining date is between 1st to 7th, he would be getting complete 1 month, 1 day of the leave. Okay, so in case if his joining date is from 8 to 15, 8 to 15, he would be getting 0.75, and if he joins between 16 to 24, he would be getting 0.5. Okay, in case if he joins after 25th to last day, he would be getting 0. Okay, so this is how you can manage this leave credit based upon the employee's joining date as well. So I'll just repeat: if an employee have created a policy saying that leave or quota would be based upon his joining date on which the employee joined. Okay, so if the employee joining date is between 1st to 7th of the month, then complete leave quota of 1 would be allocated. If the employee joining date is between 8 to 15, then 0.75 would be allocated. And if the joining date is between 16 to 24, then 0.5 would be allocated. And if the joining date is between 25th to last date, then 0 balance would be allocated, so that leave balance will not be allocated to that particular employee in that particular month. Right? Cool. So moving on the next point, which is what happens to the leave quota when an employee exits company in the middle of the leave calendar year. Okay, so this is very interesting point which we got in the recent time. Maybe in the last month we got this feature. This was requested by many of our clients as well. Right. So what happened the leave quota when an employee exits company in the middle of the leave calendar year? Okay, so leave are prorated based upon the actual exit date, or leave are updated based upon the date of joining, date of the month on which employee is exiting, or do not accrue leave when an employee has resigned as is and is under notice period. First, we'll cover the first point. Leave are prorated based upon the actual exit date of employee. Okay, so if an employee is in exit period, okay, in between a leave calendar year, the leave will be prorated and allocated accordingly. Okay, if the annual quota is 12 and the employee is exiting on 15th June, the prorate leave allocation will be 5.5 for that year. Okay, if the employee exits on 1st July, he will get 6 leaves. Okay, so let's assume if the employee is relieving on 15th June, then he would be getting only leave quota till 15th of the June, that is 5 days till 5 days till 30th of May, and 15th since he's relieving in mid of the June, he would be getting half day for that 15 days, which is 5.5. So in case if the employee exits on 1st July, he will be getting the complete quota of the June. So with that, it would be calculated around to 6 leaves. Okay, so the next option, leaves are based upon the joining date, based upon the month he is exiting. Okay, Right. So this is a similar setting what we have done for this based upon the leave accrual based upon the joining date. So it's a similar setting which I'm talking about over here. Let's assume if the employee exits between 1st to 7th, then one would be allocated. So you can manage settings same way. Okay. So we'll ignore this point now. Right. So the next option, which is do not accrue leave when an employee is resigned and is under notice period. Okay. So let's assume if the employee is under notice period and is serving notice period, the accrual of leave will stop for the notice period duration. Applying for leave during notice period can be configured. Right. So leave accrual will not happen for that particular month from when the employee is in notice period. Okay. So if you select this third option, right? So moving on the next option, which is does leave accrual vary based upon the probation period or experience? Okay. Right. So what is it? Most organizations choose. Oops, stay. Right. So whether you want to vary the leave accrual based upon the probation period or experience, so you can manage those settings. Okay. So whether the leave accrual will be based upon the experience, no, if the accrual is same for all the employees, regardless their experience. Okay. In case if you want to calculate based upon the experience and date of joining, you can also manage the settings. Okay. So from when does the accrual start? In case if you want to start the accrual once the employee completes the probation period, you can also select that by selecting the second option, which is 0 days after the probation ends. Okay. So in case if you want to select this first option, 0 days after joining, then leave accrual will be started from the day of the joining. Okay. So in case if you want to go with the 0 days from the provision, you can select this option. Okay. So after probation, 1 year from joining, 1 month, 12 days per year. So this is how you can manage the setting after probation. Okay. So right. So moving on the next option, which is leave accrual impacted by employees attendance or number of days working in a month? So this is also an new feature we got it in place, which is whether employees attendance or number of working days will matter when leave accrual is required. Okay. So right. So the first option refers saying that no accrual has nothing to with employees attendance or number of working days. Let's assume if an employee works for 15 days, whether you want to stop the leave accrual or not. So in case of working days doesn't matter for you, so you can select it as no. So in case if you want to prorate on actual days or number of days worked by the employee, you can select the second option. Okay. So right. Do not consider weekly offs as absent for the purpose of attendance if the employee is present on for at least 20 days in a month. Okay. So if the employee was if the employee is on leave for 20 plus more days in the previous month, then the leave accrual will not happen for the next month. Okay. Right. So do not consider holiday as absent for the purpose of attendance if the employee is on leave for at least present for at least 20 days in a month. So employee should come for 20 days in the particular month as working to get the accrual for the next month. Okay. So this is how it will work if you configure this option. Okay. So as of now, I'll just select it as no, so that we can proceed to the next point, which is can employee apply for a future date based upon the leave accrual? Okay, based upon the projected as of the date. Okay. So right, can an employee apply for the future date upon the accrual leave? Okay. So right, so employee would be, let's assume employee joined in the first on the first of January. Okay, now he want to apply for the leave in the March. Okay, he want to take 3 leaves for that particular month in the March. Okay, but he would not be having the leave balance for applying the leave. Okay, so what you want to do in the particular case? Yes, employee can avail the leave balance accrued as of the day of for which his leave is being applied. Okay, let's assume he's applying for the March. Okay, in the mid of Jan, he would not be getting the leave accrual for the March. Okay, still if you want to allow employee to apply for the leave, you can select the first option. In case if you don't want to allow employees to apply only for the leave accrued balance, then you need to select the second option, which is no employees limited to apply for leave balance accrued on the day of leave application and not for future date on for which leave is applied. Right. So moving on the next option, which is can employees apply leave beyond their accrual balance? Right. So right, can employees go beyond their accrual balance but not more than 0 days? So I suggest you don't select this option because employees would be taking this as an advantage and would be applying leave beyond their annual quota. So I suggest you to keep it as no, so that employees limited to their accrual balance and cannot apply leave beyond their accrual balance. Okay. So right, so do not accrue leave when the total balance exceeds. Okay, so this is also a very important and usable option, which is, let's assume your annual quota is of 12. Okay, so let's assume you got a carry forward from the previous year of 8 and now your total leave quota comes up to 20. Okay, let's assume 20. Okay, so in that case, employee you are saying that employee should not able to apply after leave accrual should not happen more than 20 days. If you have any such settings in a policy, so you need to enable this option, which is do not accrue leave when the total leave balance is 20. So what happens is, if the employee's leave balance is 20, then leave accrual will get stopped automatically. Okay, so in case if the employee utilizes any of these 20, like around 18, he utilizes 2 leaves, then again the accrual will be started from the next month until it gets up to 20. Again, if the employee's leave balance has reached the limit of 20, again the accrual gets stopped. Okay, so this is how it works. Right. So the next option which I'm referring to is do not accrue leave if an employee is on any leave for more than dash days in the previous month. Okay. So let's assume if the employee is on leave for 22 days in the previous month. Due to some emergency reasons, whether you want to run the accrual or not for the next month. So you can enable or disable this option. Okay, so depending upon the requirement. So the next option, which is when applying for a leave, if the leave balance is in decimal, do you want to round off the balance for the purpose of leave application? Okay, so whether you want to round off the leave balances or not, you can just select the option over here. So do not round off decimals. You want the accurate value in case if you need it. The next option, which is round off the next half day. If the employee's leave balance is 0.2, it would be rounded to 0. If the employee is 0.3, it would be rounded to 0.5. Okay, so next nearest full day, if the leave balance is 0.5, will be rounded to 0, and if the balance is more than 0.5, which is 0.6 or 7, then it would be rounded off to 1. So the next option, which is round off the next available half day. So if the balance is 0.1, then it will be rounded off to 0.5. If the balance is 0.5, then it will be rounded off to 1. Okay, next available full day. If the balance is 0.1, then it will be rounded off to 1, which is the next available full day. So now round off to nearest, so round off the previous available half day. If the leave balance is balances of 2.1 to 2.4, then it will be rounded off to 2. If the balance is 2.6 to 2.9, it will be rounded off to 2.5. As we have provided, the option is previous available half day. Okay. The next option. Let's assume if any of the reporting manager awards or credits a comp off to this particular leave type, whether you want to expire those leave types after a certain period of time, or you want to carry forward that leave type till the end of the year. So you can select this option. No, do not expire. If yes, after 90 days, I suggest you to keep it as 90 days because I've seen a lot of cases where they have provided 90 days whenever there is any manual leave credit happens to the employee. Okay. Right. So are we clear so far, so that we can proceed to the next case, which is applying for leave? Last point. Yep, I'll just go back. Right. So for rounding off, we have 6 different cases. Okay. So in the first case, you will not round off. So the system will be showing the accurate values. Okay. So in the second case, so if the employee's leave balance, so round off to the nearest half day. Okay. So for if the employee's leave balance is 0.2, then it will be rounded off to 2. Sorry, if the leave balance is 0.2, then it will be rounded off to 0. If the balance is 0.3, then it will be rounded off to 0.5, since it's the nearest half day. Okay. So the next option, which is nearest full day. If the balance is 0.5, then it will be rounded off to 0. If the balance is 0.5 or more, it will be rounded off to 0. Sorry, 1. Okay. So in the next case, it was nearest full day. Next case would be next available half day. If the balance is 0.1 to 0.4, 0.5, it will be rounded out to 0.5. If the balance is 0.6 or more, it will be rounded off to 1. Okay. So the next available full day. Let's assume if the leave balance is 0.1 to 0.9, then it will be rounded off to the next full day, which is 1 full day. Okay. So round off to the previous available half day. So it's going to the previous balance is, if the balance is 2.1 to 2.4, it will be rounded off to 2, since we are selecting it as previous available half day. Okay. Right. Coming to the next point, which is, does the leave credit expire after some day? Okay. So as I mentioned, if there is any manual intervention of the leave credits, if the reporting manager or HR manager has awarded a comp off to that employee of this particular leave type, which is casual leave type, whether you want to expire it after some days, this credit of the casual leave. So you can select it as yes or no. So in case if you want to expire, I suggest you to keep it as 90 days. Right. So we are proceeding to the third step. Okay. I need a yes. Waiting. Yes. Cool. Thank you. Right. And now we have come to the halfway of this leave setup. Okay. So we have completed the allocating the leave quota. We have completed the leave accrual. How does the leave accrual happen? And we have come to the next step, which is applying for the leave. Okay. So will you allow employees applying for the half day? Okay. So whether the employees can avail this particular leave type of a casual leave, a half day, yes or no. So you can depending on your requirement. So we select it as yes, the employees will be able to apply for the half day. In case you select it as no, then employees will be shown up the tag saying that you are not allowed to apply for the half day. Right? So moving on to the next option, which is allow an employee to see and apply for this leave. Whether an employee himself can apply for this leave, yes or no. So in case if you are selected as yes, employee can view it is under me leave tab, then he would be able to apply for this particular leave tab. So in case employee shouldn't be able to apply, only HR manager or a reporting manager should be able to apply on their behalf, then you need to select it as second option, so that employees would not be able to apply. Okay. So I'll select the first option. Let's say employees should be able to apply. The option next would be how many days prior notice is required to apply for this leave. Right. How many days prior notice is required to apply for this leave? Okay, if the duration is more or includes 2 days, I need 2 calendar days notice, and in that 1 working day should be paid. Okay, so I need calendar days notice, in that 1 working day should be present for applying at least 2 days of casual leave. Okay, so how early can an apply for this leave? Okay, so leave request must be made sooner than 5 calendar days prior to this leave date. Okay, so let's assume this case. Today the date is 4th. Okay, if the employee wants to take leave on the next Thursday, which is 11th, he need to apply it on 5th, because as per our settings we are requesting for 5 days prior notice. Okay, we are asking employee for a 5 days prior notice for applying leave. Okay, so the next option, which is check restrictions that are applicable for backdating. Okay, so let's assume employee took an unplanned leave. Okay, he didn't inform the organization or his higher authorities about the leave, which was an emergency. Okay, he comes back to office on the next day, because he was unable to inform, he was not able to apply for a leave. Okay, so in such cases, whether you want whether you want to allow employees to apply for backdated or not. Okay, so you can enable or disable the setting. So in case if you allow employees for applying for the past date, how many uh, days back they can apply, but not beyond calendar back days. I'll say they can apply till 10 days back, not more than that. Okay, so one more interesting option, which is do not allow applying for past dated leave after let's assume if your payroll cycle is 26 to 25, you can select this option as 24, so that you can capture leave payroll, even the leave can be calculated perfectly. Okay, so you can select this option. Right, so moving to the next option, which is does this leave require a comment? Okay, so in case comment is mandatory for this leave while applying. Okay, so yes or no you can select. Okay, so the next option, which is do you require a document proof or attachment for extended leave for this leave? Okay, so in case if you require attachment, you need to select it on yes. For exceeding more than 4 days, yes, require an attachment. So in case if it is not required, you can select it as no. So, right, so these are the settings for the leave. So are we clear on this part? So we can proceed to the next page, which is leave restriction. So Bharti can just post your question. Either me or Bharti would be answering your query. Okay, I'll just repeat this page once again for you so that you can get it. Yeah. Right. Right. So value. So we have created the leave quota and we have created the leave accrual. So the next page is allow applying for a half day. Okay. So whether you allow employee to apply for a half day, yes or no, you'll select in the first option whether an employee can apply for the half day or not. Okay. The next option, which is allow an employee to see and apply for this leave. Right, allow an employee to see and apply for this leave. Okay, so whether you want to allow employee to apply for this by himself or not. Okay, so whether an employee can see himself for this particular leave type and he can apply or not. Okay, so he can select the first option. In case employee should not be able to apply, only HR managers or reporting managers should apply, you need to select the second option. Okay, so right, so you can enable or disable the settings. So as of now I'll select yes. Right, so for applying for this particular leave type, so how many prior days notice is required to take leave? Okay, so right, so here we can manage the setting saying that if the duration is more and includes 2 calendar days, I need 2 calendar days notice. In that, at least 1 working day should be available. Okay, so we can manage such setting. So the next option, which is how early can employee apply for this leave, like how many days before an employee can apply for this leave. If it is a planned leave, okay, so leave request must be made soon, not must be made no sooner than 5 calendar days prior to the leave date. Okay, so at least a 5 calendar days prior to be leave, prior days of notice is required for applying for this leave. Okay, if it a planned leave, right? So the next option, which is just check restrictions that are applicable for backdated leave application. Okay, so in the first case, employee can apply for past days but not beyond 10 calendar days back. Okay, so now we would not be able to since I have selected it as 10 days, now we would not be able to apply for Feb 10th or 12th because it's more than the 10 days. Okay, so the next option, which is do not allow applying for past dated leave after 24th of every month. Okay, since you are given your let's assume your payroll date is from 26th to 25th. Okay, so you want your employees, everyone, to apply for all the leaves till 24th for the past dated. Okay, so if there are any corrections or leaves that are yet to be applied by the employees, all of them should be applied till 24th. If they are not applied till 24th, then it would be treated as LOP. Okay, so if you want to enable such restrictions and make such harsh calls to that employees, so you can enable this option. In case if you don't want to provide any window for that, so you can disable these options. So what happens is that once you give that as 24, after 24th of every month, employees would not be able to apply for the past dated. Okay, right. So moving on the next option, which is does this leave require a comment? Whether any of the employee while applying, whether it is mandatory to provide a comment, yes or no, you can enable or disable this option. So the next option, which is do we require a document proof or attachment for extended leave days? So whether you require a document whenever this employee is applying for a leave, so you can enable or disable this option. Okay, so we are proceeding with the next page. Yes. Hello. Can you just let me know with the yes? Can we proceed to the next page? Yep. Thank you. Right. Okay. Right. So the next page, which is leave restrictions, right? Who can apply for this leave? Okay. So when can a new joinee can apply for a leave? Okay. So let's assume the leave has been allocated to that employee and he want to take a leave. Whether a new joinee can apply for a leave, yes or no? So during probation, whether he can apply, or 0 days from the joining, or during after the probation. Okay, so this option refers to like whenever the employee is in probation, whether he should be able to apply or not. Okay, so in case if you don't want to allow employees to apply during the probation, so you can say 90 days after probation ends, or 0 days of the after probation ends. Okay, so in case if you want to allow employees to apply for 0 days after joining, so you can select it as yes, 0 days after joining. Okay. Okay, so in case if you want to restrict employees applying for more than 2 days during the probation, so you can select the next option. You need to just check this box. What happens is, if you check this box, employees would be able to consume only 2 leave days during the probation period, right? So moving the next option, which is there a limit on the number of consecutive days? The number of consecutive days this leave can be taken. Okay, so right, so how many consecutive days that can be taken for this particular leave type? Okay, so in case if you have any limitations for that, you can enable this option saying that in a go how many leave days that can be consumed by the employee. It can be 4 days, it can be 5 days, or it can be 10 days. So in case if you don't have any limitations of that, let's assume if the employee balance is 12, if the employee wants to take all the leave 12 of the if the employee wants to take of the total leave balance of 12 in a single go, whether you want to allow or not, So in case if you don't want to allow employees to take all the leave balance in a single go, you can select it as no. In case if you want to allow, you need to select it as no. In case if you don't want to allow and you want to put a limitations for that, you need to select it as yes. And what is the limit of number of consecutive days that can be taken? Okay, so the next option, which is there a limit of number of maximum number of leave days that can be availed in a month? Okay, so in a month, how many total number of days that can be taken? Okay, so in case if you don't have any limitations, you can select it as no. So in case if you have any restrictions saying that only these many days that can be taken in a month, you can just select 10 days of leave balance in a month. Okay, so right, so the next option, which is can an employee notice period apply for this leave? Okay, so in case if you don't want to allow employees applying for the leave who are in notice period, you can select it as no. So in case if you want to allow employees to apply for the leave balance, okay, so you need to select it as yes. And in case if you want to extend the notice period than the actual leave days, so you can also do that. So what happens is, let's assume employees last working day is on 22nd of March. Okay, and employee in notice period has applied for this particular leave time. Okay, so as per my settings, I have taken a leave and my notice period gets extended by 1 day than the actual leave. Okay, so let's assume here that my last working day was on March 22nd, and since I have taken a leave of 1 day, my last working day would also get increased, which is 23rd of March. Then my last working day would be 23rd of March. Okay, so in case if you don't want to extend the leave, if you just want to allow employees to apply for the leave during a notice period as well, you just need to give it as 0. Okay, right. The next option which we are referring is, can a manager override leave restrictions and apply for the leave? Okay, so this point is referring to if there is no balance to the employee, or if employee is unable to apply because of the other leave restrictions, such as backdated or prior notice. If there are any such restrictions which is not have an employee to apply, okay, then we have an option saying that yes, managers can apply by overriding restrictions. Okay, so in case if you want to enable this, you need to click on yes, so that employees would not be able to apply, but managers can override the leave restrictions, can apply for this particular leave. Okay, so right, so moving on to the next set of questions, which are check all restrictions you would like to apply on the number of leave instances. Okay, so right, so this is very rarely used options on KEKA, like enforce a minimum gap of dash calendar days between 2 leave requests. Okay, so let's assume employee took a leave on Monday, whether you allow employee to take leave again on Tuesday or not. Okay, if what is the minimum gap required for any 2 leave requests that are made? So let's assume 2. Let's assume in this case, then an employee would be able to apply. If an employee took a leave on Monday, again he would be able to apply only on Thursday, because we have enforced 2 days of gap. Okay, the next option which we are referring is, do not allow more than dash instances in a leave calendar. Like how many instances that he can apply for a leave. It can be a half day, it can be a full day. Okay, how many instances he can apply? Okay, see here I would say 15 instances, considering my half day request as well. Okay, so next option, which is do not allow more than dash instances in a calendar month. Okay, so how many instances an employee can apply? I would say 3 instances in a calendar month, considering the half day and a full day request. So do not allow more than 0 instances, sorry, dash instances in entire tenure. Okay, I suggest you to don't enable this option, because it would be a serious problem. Let's assume if you have given as around 15 or 20 in that entire tenure, you would not be able to exceed that quota of 20. Okay, during his tenure in the company. Okay, so right, the next option, which is do not allow availing less than dash days of leave in a single instance. Okay, so this option refers to saying that employee should take at least of 1 day of leave for every single instance. Okay, when total balance is greater than or equal to 6. Okay, let's assume if the balance is more than 6, then an employee should at least take a leave day of 1. Okay, so let's assume if the leave balance is less than 6, let's assume if the leave balance is 4 or 3, then an employee can take a half day. Okay, right? So the next option restricts employee for applying for last day of the month. Okay, right. So as I mentioned, restrict employees from applying for leave dash day of the month. So I suggest you don't select this option as well, because it would be a problem for employees who are applying leave for emergency as well. Even they would not be able to apply. Okay, right. Check all restrictions you would like to enforce in relation with other leave types. Okay, so right, in case if you want to enable this option, which means this leave cannot be taken along with. So in case if you there are floater leave and marriage leave, so in case if you don't want to allow employees taking it along with floater leave, so you can select this option. Let's assume Monday is a floater and Tuesday this employee want to take a casual leave. Whether you want to allow employee taking it combinedly, yes or no, you can enable or disable this option. So in case if you don't want to allow applying leave along with the floater, you can enable this option. Okay, right. So moving on the next option, which is this leave is not available when there is balance in. Okay, so let's assume there is a balance in paid leave around 15. Okay, let's assume there is a balance. Let's assume this floater has paid leave. Okay, paid leave has a total balance of 15. Okay, still if employee is trying to apply for casual leave, whether you want to allow or not. Okay, so you can enable this option. Okay, so if you enable this option, what happens is employee would be able to apply only for the paid leave. Okay, so unless his balance in the paid leave completes, he would not be able to apply for this particular leave type. Okay, so again, this is the quite harsh setting, I would say. But in case if your company policy says, you can just enable this setting. Right, so the next option is of the sandwich policy. Okay, can we just go ahead with the next option, which is holidays and week offs? We'll just try to wind off soon. Yep, right. So this is again a quite I would say it as an typical topic, which is sandwich policy. Okay, so many of the organizations have seen that they don't have a sandwich policy in place. So in case if you are having, you can enable it as yes. First option, which is if a holiday is adjoining a leave, it is considered as a leave or not. Okay, so right, so I'll just select the first option, which is yes, holiday accompanying leave is treated as leave when total number of leave includes 1 calendar days. Okay, so right, so I'm selecting it as 1. If the employee is on leave for at least 1 day between a holiday, it would be treated as a sandwich. Okay, so let's take an example here of all the 5 different cases. Okay, we'll just start with the first case. Please listen to it carefully so that you would be able to understand. So I'll repeat it twice. The first case is if the holiday is right between 2 leave days. Holidays sandwich between 2 leave days. Okay, so let's assume the holiday is on Wednesday. Okay, and you are trying to apply on 16th and 18th. Sorry, on Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, for the first case, we have taken as Wednesday as an holiday and Tuesday and Thursday as in working, but still the employee applied for leave on 16th and 18th. Okay, so in the first case, what happens is both the along with the two leave days, even holiday would be treated as a sandwich and considered for the leave. Okay, so that's the first case. I repeat, if the holiday is right between two leave days, which is Tuesday and Thursday, and holidays between the 2 days, which is Wednesday, then all the 3 days would be treated as leave. Okay, so that's the first case. And the second case, if the leave day is right before a holiday, okay, we'll take again the first example again. So Wednesday is an holiday, and employee took a leave on 16 on the Tuesday. Okay, so then again it would be considered as an leave. Okay, then both the days like 16th and Tuesday and Wednesday would be considered as a leave. Okay, so moving on the next point, which is right after a holiday. If you have applied leave right after a holiday, let's assume yesterday was on holiday and today if you have applied leave, then both the days would be considered as a leave for you. Okay, in the third case. Okay, and at the fourth case, whether the holiday is in right before whether the holiday is right before a leave day or in between or after a holiday. Okay, all the three cases combinedly will be treated in the fourth option, which is if the leave day is before or after or in between. Okay, all the three cases combinedly have given in the fourth option. It will be treated as a sandwich. Okay, so the next option, which is if the leave day is between the holidays. Okay, so let's assume there are two different holidays on Tuesday and Thursday, and Wednesday is a working for you. Okay, still if you want to take a leave on Wednesday, then all the 3 days would be considered as a sandwich, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. In this case, Tuesday and Thursday were holidays. Since you have took a leave on Wednesday, all the 3 days would be treated as a leave. Okay, so I'll just repeat all the different settings again for you because it's quite difficult to understand in a single go. Okay, so if the leave day is right between the two leave days, okay, let's assume Tuesday and Thursday is leave for you and Wednesday is a holiday. Okay, so in such case only all the 3 days would be treated as a sandwich. Okay, so in the second case, if the leave day is right before a holiday, if the leave day is on Tuesday and your leave day is right before a holiday, right? So if your leave day is on Tuesday and Wednesday is your holiday, if you are applying it on Tuesday, then both the days would be treated as a leave. Okay, so the next option, which is if the leave day is right after a holiday. So right after a holiday in the sense, if holiday is on Wednesday and you are applying it for 14th, then both the days would be treated as a sandwich. Okay, so the next case, which is before or after or in between, all the three cases which we have treated above would be combinedly will be treated in the fourth case. The next case is if the leave day is between two holidays. If there are two leaves on Tuesday and Thursday, if you are taking leave in between the two holidays, then all the 3 days would be treated as a leave. Okay, right. So the next point would be, so do not consider holiday accompanying half-day leave as leave. Okay, so ignore the above rules. If the leave is taken half-day, this rule doesn't apply. Okay, if the leave is taken on weekday, half-day. Okay, so if the employees the sandwich policy, if you enable this option, the sandwich policy would be applicable only for the full days. Okay, so if the employee is applying for a half day, then the sandwich will not be coming into the place. Okay, right. So I suggest you to check this option so that no problems will be arising. Right. So the next option, which is if a weekday is adjoining a leave. We'll select it as yes. In case if you want to enable it as sandwich, so I'll say at least one calendar day. Right. So again, same options would be repeated, but here it's not uh, holiday, it's a week off. Right. The week off is right between the two leave days. Okay, let's assume Saturday and Sunday are week offs for you, and you have taken a leave on Friday and Monday. Then all the 4 days would be treated as leave in the first case. Okay, so if the leave day is right before a week off, if Saturday and Sunday is a week off for you, and if you're applying leave for an Friday, then all the 3 days would be treated as a holiday. Sorry, leave. The next option, which is if leave day is right after a week off. If you are applying leave on Monday, all the 3 days would be treated as a week off, including Saturday and Sunday. If the leave day is right before or after or in between a week off. Okay, so this implies all the three above options, considering the fourth option, before or after or in between. Okay, so all the three options combinedly would be considered for the fourth case. Moving on the next option, which is if leave day, if leave days between two week offs. Okay, so let's assume in some cases some would not be having standard week offs on Saturday, Sunday, or only Sunday. Okay, in some cases it would be Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday. So in such cases, if leave days between two week offs, okay, is if let's assume Tuesday and Thursday are a week off for that employee, and he applied leave in between the two leave days on Wednesday, then all the 3 days would be treated as a sandwich. Okay, again the next option, which is do not consider week off accompanying half day leave, whether you want to consider half day leave as an sandwich or not. Okay, so right, the next option, which is do you want to club sandwich across different leave types. Okay, whether you want to club sandwich or not with other leave types as well. So I suggest you to don't club sandwich with other leave types, so that you would be able to understand more about every single leave type. So if you club, it will get confused even for you. So let's proceed with the next option, which is leave approval. Okay, so right, so whenever any leave request is made by any employee, okay, whom you want to take the action, whom do you want to take an action? It can be a reporting manager. In case if you want to provide multiple levels, you can also provide multiple levels. L2 manager. Okay, so right, so we got an important interesting option over here, which is skip to next level after X days. Okay, so let's assume if the reporting manager is not taking any action on this particular leave requested by the employee, okay, until 5 days. Okay, so what happens is it will get auto approved after 5 days and will move to the next level. Okay, so this case will happen only when you have multiple levels. Okay, so in case if you have only a single level, this option won't work. Must and shortly the reporting manager should take an action on it. Okay, so the next option, which is auto approve approver level in case approver is not registered with KECA. So let's assume if the registered, I mean his reporting manager is not yet registered with KECA, then the leave request should get auto approved. So in case if you want to enable, you can enable this option, right? So pause sending of email notification for each request. Okay, so right, so in case if the reporting managers are getting irritated for every single request, and you just want to pause the notifications and you just want to show it on the KECA, so you can enable the second option, which is pause sending of email notification to approvers. The notifications would be stopped, but still once they log on to KECA under inbox, they would be able to view all the leave requests that are made. Okay, so right, so finally we'll move on to the next step, final step, which is year-end processing. Right, so we have completed all the 6 different steps till leave approval, and in the final step, which is what happened to the leave balance at the end of the year. Okay, so what happens to the leave balance at the end of the year? Okay, so there are 5 different cases. First case is all leave balance expire or get reset. Okay, so let's assume at the end of the year, during year-end processing, the employee leave balance is of 5. Okay, so what happens to the 5 leave balance? Okay, let's take an example of 5. Okay, so all the leave balance expire. So what happens is at the end of the year, though the employee has a balance of 5, it will get reset. It will get expire and it will reset to 0. On December 1st, 0 leaves will be carry forwarded from the previous year, considering the first option. Okay, so let's assume if you select the second option, which is all leave balances get paid to the employee. Okay, so in this case, what happens is, let's assume if you have a leave balance of 5, then all the 5 leave balances would be paid to you in the way of leave encashment at the end of the year, and would be credited with it with your salary. And coming to the next year, it would be resetted to 0. Again, it would be starting from 0, since all the leave credit had this been encashed to you. Okay, so the next option, which is leave balance get carry forwarded to the next year. Okay, so in the next option, which is leave gets carry forwarded, what happens is, though the employee's leave balance is 5 or 4, all the leave balance will get carry forwarded to the next year. Okay, on Jan 1st. Okay, so in case if you want to pay first and then carry forward. Okay, so if you want to pay, we'll consider some example. Okay, so right, if the employee's leave balance is more than 12 days, okay, so then we'll say up to 4 to be carry forwarded and 8 to be encashed. Okay, sorry, 8 to be paid and 4 to be carry forwarded. So what happens is, if the employee's leave balance is more than 12 days, okay, then the carry forward will happen up to 8 days. Sorry, then encashment will happen up to 8 days, and remaining 4 days will be carry forward. Okay, so in case if you want to do it on percentage, you can also do that. If the balance is more than 12 days, 60% of the leave days will be carry forwarded and 40 days would be encashed. Okay, so you can also restrict up to maximum payable days, up to restrict maximum carry forward days up to. Okay, so we can manage the settings. Okay, just give me one single moment. Yep, so you can manage that way. Okay, so the next option, which is carry forward first and then pay remaining. Okay, so if the balance is more than 12 days, you would be carry forwarding up to 4 days and you would be paying up to 8 days. Okay, so let's assume if the we'll take a case of 15. Okay, then the carry forward will be up to 4 days and remaining 8 will be encashed. Then you would have a question of what happens to the leave balance, which is remaining of 3. Okay, so ultimately it will get lapsed at the end of the year, because we are carry forwarding only up to 8 days and we are paying up to 4 days. Okay, so then all the other leave balances will get expired, right? So right, so does carry forward leave expire after a certain period of time? Okay, so in few cases, there can be cases where many of the organization choose carry forward leave will expire. Okay, they want employees to utilize this carry forward leave balance. I would suggest 90 days here as well, or 90, or you can take it as 180. Okay, so after 180 days of carry forward, which has been forwarded on 1st of Jan, which is one from that 180 days, in the sense 1st of July, on 1st of July, all my carry forward leaves will get expire. Okay, so any leave that has an expiry date, either previous carry forward or expiry setting under previous remains unchanged. Okay, so right, so carry forward leave will expire. There are two different carry forwards. One is manual carry forward, which we have seen in second step during the leave accrual process. Okay, so if you enable this option, any leave that has an expiry date remains changed. Okay, So both are two different options, which is a leave carry forward, which has happened due to the year-end processing, and one other option was leave carry forward, which has happened during, which has been happened by the manual case. Okay, so right. So what happens to the negative balance that have accumulated for employees who have taken leave beyond their annual quota? Okay, so let's assume there are few cases where employees would be having negative balance in their leave quota at the end of the year. So what you want to do that negative balance? So definitely I would suggest you to nullify and reset the balance to zero. So what happens is, though the balance is -5 or -20, the leaves would be nullified and would be reset to zero. So in case if you want to deduct from the salary, which is a really harsh case, you can go with that option in case if your policy says that, or you can carry forward negative balance to the next year. Okay, so let's assume you have a negative balance of -12. Okay, at the beginning of the year, in the next year you would be getting a quota of 12. All that 12 will be allocated to you in a single go. Okay, and negative is carry forwarded, then the balance would be zero, because you have a negative of -12, and you have a annual quota of 12 for the next year. Both combinedly would be rounded off to zero, so no leave quota would be allocated. So for stopping such cases, I just suggest you to go with nullify and reset the balance to zero. Okay, so with this last option, we come to an end to the leave settings. So we have completed the complete leave setup. Like, what are the different options which are available? I definitely am aware that I've took so much of time for you. So right. So what we'll do today, we'll just wind up the session over here, and we'll continue in the on the next Thursday from here itself, like where we have stopped. Let me. Can you just post some questions in case if you have any, so that we can just answer it on the leave setup, so that we can cover it in meanwhile. Hello. Right, so we have completed the complete setup process of the leaf type. So we have covered every single point today. I know I've killed so much of your time of 1 hour 20 minutes, but definitely I feel it was a fruitful session for all of you. Okay, so right, so we have one question. Since we received no question, we believe the setup is clear. Right, sorry. So right, so we have a question from Bharti. So if the number of leaves are 7, how would you go then? So then, if the balance is 7, then all the leave balance of 7 would get expired, Bharti. None of them would get carry forwarded, because we have mentioned saying that if we'll uh, do this encashment only if the balance is more than 12. So definitely, Karthik will look after those sessions in our next meetings, because we have started these webinars from the beginning again. So this is the first webinar which is on leave, which is yet to be covered. We have just covered the leave setups. There are few more around 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so we'll cover up on the next meeting on the next Thursday at 4 p.m. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. We'll join again on next Thursday, sharp at 4 p.m. Till then, thank you. Thank you so much. So you would be getting email of this recording to your all your registered emails at the end of this session. Okay. Till then, stay safe. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.